What are the sanctions on Russia and have they affected its economy? As of my last update, in 2024, Russia faced various sanctions imposed by the United States, European Union, and other countries due to its actions in Ukraine, Crimea, and involvement in other international affairs. These sanctions targeted key sectors of the Russian economy, including finance, energy, and defense. Specific measures included: 1. Financial restrictions. These included limitations on access to international capital markets for Russian banks and companies, freezing assets of certain individuals and entities, and restrictions on transactions with certain Russian banks. 2. Export controls. Sanctions targeted the export of certain technologies and goods to Russia, particularly those related to the energy and defense sectors. 3. Arms embargo. Restrictions were placed on the export of arms and related technology to Russia. 4. Energy sector sanctions. Some sanctions aimed to restrict Russia's ability to develop its oil and gas reserves, particularly in deep water, Arctic offshore, and shale projects. 5. Travel bans and asset freezes. These targeted individuals and entities deemed responsible for actions against Ukraine or involved in the Russian government's decision-making process. These sanctions have had significant impacts on the Russian economy, including: 1. Economic contraction. Russia's economy faced contraction due to reduced access to international markets, decreased investment, and lower oil prices. 2. Currency depreciation. The Russian ruble experienced significant depreciation against major currencies, leading to increased inflation and reduced purchasing power for Russian consumers. 3. Capital flight. Sanctions and economic uncertainty led to capital flight from Russia as investors sought safer markets. 4. Increased cost of borrowing. Russian entities faced higher borrowing costs due to limited access to international capital markets, impacting investment and economic growth. 5. Deterioration of business environment. The sanctions contributed to a deterioration of the business environment in Russia, with increased regulatory uncertainty and reduced investor confidence. Overall, the combination of sanctions and other economic factors has led to challenges for the Russian economy, affecting growth prospects and contributing to economic stagnation. However, it's essential to note that the situation may have evolved since my last update. So I recommend checking more recent sources for the latest information on sanctions and their impacts on Russia.